Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Let's talk about one of the most decorated coons in the United States of America. Former Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron. Oh, fam, he's one of the worst, but some might say best of the best if you're talking coons. Family, this is a dude who Donald Trump endorsed. This was Donald Trump's buddy. But now that they have the 2025 agenda, they're whitewashing everything. They want all of the black high-level politicians out, and they want to replace them with anybody but black, but primarily white. After this next election, there will be no black senators, point blank, period, on the Republican side, not one. But these guys thought that they were in the club. And Daniel just found out it's one big club, as George Carlin said it, and he ain't in it. Yeah, man. Check out Daniel as he tries to process the devastating blow to his campaign to become Kentucky's next senator. Oh, fam, this is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. Trump endorsed his opponent, not him, not the guy who Trump had a relationship with, not the guy who Trump heralded as so smart and he's great and he's just the best of the best. When the rubber hit the road, when it came down to it, he got to stick to that agenda. And the agenda says, we whitewashing everything. We getting rid of all things black on a federal level, on a local level, on a state level.
What I got is, I stated in that video, was from my campaign manager. He said, well, Nate Morse has dropped out. I said, oh, okay. And then he said, and he's endorsed Andy Barr, and President Trump has endorsed Andy Barr. And I said, well, that seems like an interesting sort of turn of events in terms of, how quickly that came together. Again, these two guys had been fighting each other for 10 months, and then all of a sudden some, deal had been struck. I liken it, they said, don't talk about this, but I'm a wrestling fan, and so, all right. I told you there's going to be some people here. So in SummerSlam in Montreal, Bret Hart was facing Shawn Michaels, and Vince McMahon had a secret meeting with Shawn Michaels. Blake's back there in the back, had a secret meeting with Shawn Michaels, and they went out and they did a 1-2-3 count on Bret Hart. Bret Hart was shocked by it. They call it the Montreal Screwjob. I have thought long and hard about what happened that got us to this spot. But what I'm not deterred by is the fact that there are so many Kentuckians that have been reaching out to us and saying that we care for you, we're pushing for you, we're going to work even harder than we were before because we are committed to change in Washington, someone that's going to stand up for our constitutional rights and values, and that's you.
Yeah. So Danny just found out the hard way that he's still black, no matter how much he tries to ingratiate himself with them. He's still black. I absolutely love that for him. I ain't got no problem with that. Ooh, man, I wish I could have saw his face when he first got the news. He really thought he had some type of allegiance, well, at least he thought they had an allegiance with him. Wow. Poor guy. It's crazy to think that he thought that they might actually like him. Danny, is on suicide watch, or he should be put on suicide watch. I would say place him on suicide watch right now because things are getting out of control, and Danny may not make it. He may not survive this. Daniel Cameron criticizes Trump-endorsed Andy Barr, commits to stay in Senate race. A candidate for elected office shifting their campaign strategy with just 2 weeks left until a primary election is not typically advised. But with President Donald Trump single-handedly changing the makeup of Kentucky's U.S. Senate race, some political experts believe it's Republican Daniel Cameron's only feasible option. The only viable sort of clothing strategy is to draw a sharp contrast, an unmistakable contrast between the candidates, GOP political consultant Iris Wilbur Glick, owner and founder of IW Strategy, said. For Daniel Cameron, the objective is to frame that the choice for primary Republican voters is between sort of two very different types of conservatives. Glick, like a handful of other Kentucky political operatives, agree that the odds are highly in U.S. Representative Andy Barr's favor. Now check this out, family. Trump endorsed Barr in the race to replace Senator Mitch McConnell, while at the same time convincing Nate Morris to drop out of the race. Nate Morris was the other high-profile candidate in the race. He convinced him to drop out in exchange for a position in his administration. See what I mean by sticking together? And they're sticking together based on this exclusively. Because if you look at the paperwork and you look at the relationships, Danny's supposed to have a spot. Trump's supposed to be endorsing Danny because Danny been loyal to Trump. Anytime Trump visit Kentucky, Danny boy be right there. I'm right here, sir. Right here, sir. Ready to serve, sir. Coon number one. Right here, ready to serve, sir. I am a coconut, and I'll do anything you ask me to do. You want me to get down on my knees, whatever you need me to do, sir. I am here to serve you. Yeah, he's been that dude. And this is how he gets repaid. They have an agenda. And that agenda is to whitewash everything. I'm talking everything. I'm talking about history and history in the making. These black candidates, it don't matter if you Republican, you Democrat, they catching hell. This Trump administration is trying to whitewash everything. They are sticking to the plan. They're not just firing hundreds of thousands of black workers around the country, starting with government workers. They're going into the schools saying, you cannot teach that. You can't teach black history. They're going to the universities saying, you can't have a black club. You can't have a club for black people. They're going to the EEOC saying, hey, that's not discrimination. You can't file a suit. You can't file a suit based on discrimination. They're going to every single district and they are picking out their guy based on color first. Color first. Color first. From senators to congressmen and women to state reps, police chiefs, sheriffs, everything. But this ain't about race. It ain't got nothing to do with race. But for Danny, I'm loving the fact he getting his N-word wake-up call because he thought fat meat wasn't greasy. He thought it didn't apply to him. He thought he was one of the guys. He thought he was a good old boy, one of the fellas, because he spoke the vernacular. Yeah. Let me tell you something. You can't educate yourself into the club. You can't work yourself into the club. You can't enrich yourself into the club. You can't sell out your way into the club. You can't marry your way into the club. You can't mix baby your way into the club. It's one big club, and you ain't in it. When you fools gonna learn that? No more talk.